David, can you talk us through a few of your challenges you've had in the pre-season, sort of working a forward line with a few new faces?
Opportunities. I wouldn't say challenges. I've really enjoyed it. We've got some game time into some of our younger players that we've probably had a settled six for probably nearly 2 years now since I've been here. So it was great to get some new guys in there. I thought Harry Deer and especially some midfielders going through there, Galucci, Paholke, some of the younger guys. It's exciting seeing what they could do.
Did Harry show basically, Mitch goes down with a bit of a sore knee, that given a bit of time he could emerge as a key pillar up forward?
Yeah, probably not Mitch, probably more Josh and Tex. I think he's a bit bigger, a bit stronger. He's got a great engine. So no, he showed signs. He's still got room to grow, but it was good. He understands the level he needs to get at now, and hopefully he'll continue to develop every week.
And your six, you said, has been pretty settled the last couple of years. It's obviously got so many prongs for attack. Does that put a bit of pressure on you to make sure that you actually do kick a high score?
Oh, not really. They've got to play their role for the team, and that's all they're about. We don't care who kicks the goals. We just want to play good team football, and part of that is defending well, and they're important in that aspect, and it's also scoring well. So I don't mind. I'm looking forward to having more guys go through there, seeing players like Charlie play up the field higher. Curtly Hampton's coming to the side, done well. Troy Menzel's coming to the side and doing well, so it's an exciting time.
Wanted to ask you about Menzel. Obviously didn't have a great year last year. How have you seen his progression, and is he one that could float through your forward six a fair bit this year, do you think?
Yeah, they're in midfield. He's had a great pre-season. He came back with the right attitude. Not that he didn't have the right attitude last year. He was great last year, but he just showed he turned up and we knew he was ready to go. You could see he had a real desire, and that's probably transgressed into the games. He's playing well. He had some really important, not just possessions, but impact on the game on the weekend, and hopefully that'll continue. The more time he spends out there with this group, I'm thinking he'll only get better.
And Dropper mentioned it, to have those guys back this week for your final dress rehearsal, if you like, Betts, Jenkins, McGovern. How important is that, just to get that chemistry? I know you said they've been playing for 2 years, but just to get that continuity, I suppose, going into round one.
Yeah, it's important. We'd like to think that regardless who plays, will be able to get the job done, and they'll have a role, and each player will come in and play the role. But you also enjoy learning off each other, and I think the connection, the backs playing together will have it, the mids playing together, and the forwards are the same. So the chance to work together, and hopefully we've got a good healthy list this year that they get to play a lot of footy together.
Just on Menzel, you said he came here with the right approach. What do you think stopped him having the right approach last year? Was anything you could put your finger on?
Oh, he had the right approach last year. It was just he probably came off. He had a hip operation, so he was just a bit behind the 8 ball, and it made it really hard. The way he approached it last year was outstanding. Everything we asked of him, he did, but he's built on that. He's had a full pre-season this year, and now you can see he's playing good football, and that's what we're here to do. We're here to play good football, and he's doing that.
What are you changing up this year in terms of forward structures? I mean, obviously not in detail, but is it markedly different from what you've done in years past?
I wouldn't say it's a lot. It's continuing to improve, to evolve. There's some little aspects we're tweaking, but there's nothing major. At the end of the day, we've got to compete strong and make sure that once the ball hits the ground, we either win it or we put really good pressure on the opposition, and that's probably been our major focus throughout pre-season.
You expect different names up there this year? You touched on how solid it's been for a couple of years.
Ideally, as you've heard the coach say, we'd love to add a little bit more flexibility through the list. So to have guys like McGovern play on a wing and Cameron to go up, play through the midfield, Eddie can play through the midfield, we know, it means other players have got to come into the forward line. So no, it's exciting. They've done it in the past. We'll probably just need to expose them to it a bit more. We'll probably need to spend some of the midfielders to spend more time forward so that they get used to working with the other guys.
Do you have to? You find you have to sort of reinvent yourself, not to a great deal, but just little tweaks now and then to stay ahead of the curve. As you say, like the AFL evolves pretty quickly, and opposition back six, they sort of get a grasp of how things. Do you have to make little tweaks each pre-season and each week going forward to be ahead of the rest of them?
Oh, absolutely. The game goes forward and you've got to continue to go with it or you get left behind. I'm probably very lucky in my role that I've got a group of guys that are now driving that. The players are driving it. So it's actually been enjoyable this pre-season watching Tom Lynch, Josh Jenkins, Eddie, Tex take the lead, and they're the ones driving. They know they've got to continue to get better, and we've probably got a good understanding of what's required, and now they're driving it, which is really good. So the young guys have got some really good leaders to learn from.
What do they do, David?
Oh, look, one example was one day they organised a meeting off the cuff, and I couldn't make it, and they just went and ran it. I still to the day don't even know what the meeting was about, but they just went and ran it. We go out and train. They train well, and I'll back them in. They've got great football brains, and I thought it was outstanding. There's their leadership, and they're only doing it to help their teammates, especially the younger guys, because they're a bit more experienced. So I just thought that's one bit of evidence to show they really care and want to get better.
Can you elaborate on any sort of technical changes or tactical changes that we might see in terms of the things you do to stay ahead of the opposition defence?
It's probably analysing the way teams are defending. Some teams are playing back shoulder and defend and want you to hit up. Other teams play up in front and a bit more proactive. So it's being able to adjust from one to the other, which team plays which way and what we're going to do. So we've been working on some things. I'm probably not going to go into detail here, but we've been working on some aspects of the game to see how that'll affect us against the teams that defend it both ways.
What do you mean by back shoulder? Like they're just trying to get shallow entries, make you guys have shallow entries. So.
Yeah, some teams will tuck in behind you and they want you to lead up at the ball and force you higher. Other teams will play in front and rely on pressure and on the ball, and hopefully the kick comes in shallow and they market themselves and counter-attack. So there's two sides of the defence, and if you look at the two finals, the Bulldogs like to play quite proactive and sit out in front, where Sydney are a little bit more back, one-on-one, playing their opponents. Both worked. I think they're both in the top couple of defensive teams. So it'll be really interesting to see which way the trend goes in the AFL, because both have proven to work.